today. From Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the National Football League. We'll see Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons taking on Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Washington football team.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the Washington football team. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Falcon offense about ready to go to work here for the first time, and leading them as he has since 2008 is the veteran quarterback, former MVP, Matt Ryan.
And I think if there's one quarterback in the league who sometimes gets taken for granted, to me it's Matt Ryan, because I think throughout his career he's been consistently excellent. Frequent member of the 4,000-yard club, savvy veteran, knows how to throw the deep ball and create big plays, and yes, he will beat you from the pocket.
Now Ryan on first down. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Chase Young showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
So still 14 yards to go, second down. Another try after the first down sack. Ryan under pressure, they got him again. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, if they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one, and their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. On the carry, here's Smith. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
I'm not sure how much I really love that call. It almost seems like a little bit of a give up there. But maybe what they were thinking is, we've got a chance to pop one. They think we're just going to give up here, hand it to the big man, and maybe he can get through. Sometimes there's a little bit of courage in play calling that maybe we don't give enough credit.
The Falcons send out their punter. DeAndre Carter back deep. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense about ready to go to work. And at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's one of those guys that's been around the block a few times in the NFL. And at this stage in his career, what he lacks in big playability, he more than makes up for it in veteran leadership, a real knowledge of the game, and being a terrific locker room presence.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Fitzpatrick. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Fitzpatrick. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 15 yards the pickup, 1st down Washington.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
They go play action. Fitzpatrick. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Logan Thomas experienced a breakout season last year at the age of 29. Converted from playing quarterback, he finished 3rd among tight ends with 72 catches, and it certainly looks like his future is awfully bright.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, a 14-yard touchdown. And Washington has taken a 1st quarter lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Now it's Patterson. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
2nd and 5. They go play action with Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off, and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with the defender right there. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. This is Gallman. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Second down at 4. Here's Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Here's Ryan to throw. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and run for it. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
brings up 2nd and 3.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards the pickup, 1st down Washington.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
A run here for J.D. McKissick. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try to throw here, Fitzpatrick. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. First target, 1st catch, and a 1st down.
Adam Humphries spent 4 years in Tampa and 2 in Tennessee. Knows how to operate out of the slot and find his way open downfield. Makes a good catch there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Gibson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Fitzpatrick on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Gibson here running out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick to throw it. He'll go underneath with this one to McKissick. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make this a second down. Here's a give to Gibson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd and 1, here's Fitzpatrick. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Kick is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Ryan, his throw incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Gallman. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Carter. A good return there, 17 yards.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
13 yards there on a Washington 1st.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Fitzpatrick. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Fitzpatrick. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Curtis Samuel exhibited a lot of versatility for 4 years in Carolina. Now in his first year with Washington, expect this football team to try and put the ball in his hands a variety of ways.
To the air again, Fitzpatrick.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. To throw is Fitzpatrick. Eluding the pressure right. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. From the gun, Fitzpatrick.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
Adam Humphries as the first half is winding down.
And Washington going to add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. That time a 6-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we'll see how aggressive they want to be in these final stages before the half. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half from our quarterback. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter.
They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Second half starts with a run by Gibson.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
They'll go again with Gibson.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now Fitzpatrick. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Thomas. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Fitzpatrick to his tight end Thomas for the Washington first.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
On the counter, Gibson.
And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's second down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
On first down, right back to Gibson.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Second and 12.
Here's Fitzpatrick. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes that's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Here's Tressway now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Now a throw here, hauled in, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 35-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Fitzpatrick. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Gibson. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Washington on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. Fitzpatrick now. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards that time.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give running right, Gibson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Throwing Fitzpatrick. And he finds McLaurin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fitzpatrick. A throw to the flat here for McKissick. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for only a couple. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
On second down, a run with Gibson.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a third down. Back to throw. Fitzpatrick. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
First down, Ryan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
Now Ryan. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Ryan.
That's caught by Pitts. And he'll be brought down, still a yard or two short even of the first down. So things looking bleak here. They've got to convert on 4th.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
So a victory here for the Washington football team.
And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.
Yes.